I want you to accept me as I am.
I need my boss to really appreciate my talent.
I am angry and confused and saddened by my family.
I'm angry at Daddy because he's not home.
I am frightened and panicked about my money.
My son irritates me when he's not responsible.
I'm afraid that this is the beginning of the end.
I'm not good enough.
I want you to love me unconditionally.
I don't deserve to be here.
Who would you be without your story?
Welcome to the work of Byron Katie. The work is a simple process of inquiry that involves writing down the stressful parts of your life on a worksheet and then investigating the statements you've written using 4 penetrating questions in what Katie calls a turnaround. People in more than 30 countries around the world are finding that direct self-investigation through the work is radically changing their lives, bringing them increasingly greater clarity, joy, and understanding. As you listen to the following people doing the work with Katie, you're invited in each piece to think of someone in your life you have a similar issue with. The closer you can get to the people doing the work with Katie, the greater the opportunity to experience your own solution and freedom from what you believe. If you would like to fill out a worksheet before listening to these pieces, you can download one at no charge from www.thework.org.
I've recently separated from my husband of 31 years. He is gay and has had a lover for 10 years. We live in separate states right now. And I am upset and confused because my husband insists that I continue to keep up the pretense that we're married with our son and with all of our family and friends.
So, sweetheart, just take a deep breath and turn that around. My husband insists. Turn it around. I
insist.
And read it.
That I continue to keep up the pretense that we are married with our son and all of our family and friends.
You keep up the pretense, and you think it's because he insists. Mm-hmm. So that tells me that you do it. It's like a business deal. You do it because you want something from him.
Well, financial, going through the transition of the divorce, and so I don't rock the boat.
Very good. So my husband insists. No, I insist I don't do that for my financial security.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel inside of you when you think the thought, he insists, I have to do this?
Well, it makes me tense and nervous. And I'm always wondering what I've told who.
Yeah, the first lie requires more.
Oh, yeah.
Who would you be without this thought?
Well,
I live this way because he insists.
I would be free of all the 31 years of lying.
Yeah, yeah. You might, your children might come in and say, children, good news, your father's gay. I have just come out of the closet with it.
That was my next statement, actually. Well, the next thing I was going to say was I want to tell our son, our grown married son, the exact nature of the situation. But my husband's holding me to the promise I made years ago to allow him to be the only one that tells him.
You may just want to call your husband and say, that promise I made, I've changed my mind. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I would love to do that.
When I love to do something, I do it if it doesn't cause harm. If I think it would cause harm, I don't do it because I've gone beyond my evolution and what I believe. And I realize I can't hurt another human being. But if it comes to me that something I say or do would hurt you, I stop because it's me I hurt. This is my life I'm dealing with. I love the pain-free.
How do you know, though? Because he is so I feel like if I say anything to anyone about his being gay, that it would hurt him.
Mm-hmm. Well, just call him and say, you know, sweetheart, I'm afraid. You know that promise that I made all those years ago? Well, I have changed my mind. I want to tell our children, I cannot live this lie anymore. And if you want to be the first one to tell them, you have 24 hours. Please don't put me in the position of hurting you. So that way, if he doesn't do it within 24 hours, it could be a week, it could be a year, whatever it is for you. Mm-hmm. But that way, when you do it, he's the one that hurts him. You haven't.
Okay, I've got another one. I'm upset with myself because I agreed to take 2 business trips with him because I believed the story that he could lose his 2 most important clients if I didn't.
So turn it around, read it that way again. I agreed.
I agreed to take 2 business trips with him because I believe the story he could lose his 2
Because I believe my story that I don't want to lose his 2 business clients.
Okay.
It's your security you're interested in.
Right, that's right. But isn't it just a story still?
Well, you're the one that lives it.
I don't want to live it anymore.
Well, you know what I would do is I would call and say, you know, all these years I've resented you for this. I thought that you were making me, and the truth is I was interested in my security. And we've been wonderful partners. And I'm going to make these 2 trips with you because I want you to keep those clients for my well-being. So that way you're living an honest life.
Do I need to take those trips?
Well, do you want the security? Up to you, isn't it? I would just go honestly. If I made it, I would go honestly. And if I don't make it, I would take the risk. And say, if you lose these 2 partners, you know,
but the
does it make sense to you that if he shows up without a wife, they're going to say, oh, he's gay?
No.
You know, how can I tell the truth if I don't know what it is? Until I realize that I'm stuck in this darkness. But when we begin to question our mind, then, you know, it shines the light and it shows us how to live. What are you afraid of?
Well, I'm afraid of the same thing that he's afraid of, I think, that I will lose everything.
So if he loses these 2 clients, his job, everything, okay, this leaves you over here. You're going to end up with no security. Can you absolutely know that it's true? And I invite all of you to go in. In your life, you're going to end up with nothing. No security. Can you absolutely know that that's true?
No.
And how do you react when you think that thought?
I manipulate the situation.
You take trips you don't want to take. You lie. And this isn't personal, is it? How many of you are relating to this? Will you raise your hands? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So who would you be without this thought? I'm going to end up with nothing.
Very free.
So I'm going to end up with nothing, with no security, turn it around?
I will end up with security.
Could be just as true.
I have security right now in my mind.
Well, that's about the only place that it really works for me. I notice that things come and go. That's how it looks. That's just, how am I going to take the trip? Thank you, sweetheart. Nice work. Yeah.
I'm angry, upset, and saddened at my grandmother because she is often hurtful, manipulative, rude, and tries to impose her beliefs on me. And she tells me I'm overweight and just like her.
She tries to impose her beliefs on you. Is that true?
She just wants to share how right she is with me, I guess. She's very Catholic.
So let's turn the whole thing around.
Okay. No. I'm angry, upset, and saddened with myself because I am often hurtful, manipulative, rude, and try to impose my beliefs on her.
Yes, on my grandmother. Is that as true or truer?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So how can anyone impose their beliefs on you? Someone says something to us and we believe it because we get something from it. Or we believe it. Because it will bring us something. We think some kind of security. But no one imposes their beliefs on me. They tell me what they think. What does that have to do with me? Let's look at the next one.
Okay, I need my grandmother to stop being rude, hurtful, manipulative.
What does she say that's hurtful?
Well, she tells me, I mean, she's a large woman, and I'm like talking big. And, it really hurts me when she tells me I'm like her in her appearance.
Yeah, so she says that you're like her.
Yes.
Okay, so when you turned that first one around, it wasn't her, it was you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just like the her you think she is. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
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 So I like to say no two people have ever met. You have a story of her, and that's who you believe she is. Give me one thing she said to you that really hurts. You've given me several. Isolate one. Something
You're fat.
You're fat. Okay. Can you find it? Can you find where some place on your body is larger or fatter in your mind than you would like?
Yes.
Okay, so if someone calls me fat, I'm going to say, wow, now they know what I know. Your thoughts about what it means to have a fat place on you, or to be fat, whatever that is that you believe for you, your thoughts about what that's costing you, you may want to write down and question.
Okay.
Who are skinny people? What do they get that you think you don't get?
I get boyfriends.
Okay, so let's look at it. You need a boyfriend. Is that true?
No.
So how do you react when you think the thought, I need a boyfriend, and you don't have one?
I feel lonely and left out. All my friends do, which doesn't make a difference because I'm not my friends. And
if you were thinner, you would have a boyfriend. Can you absolutely know that that's true?
No.
Does that thought bring peace or stress into your life? I need a boyfriend.
Definitely stress.
And how do you live when you believe that and you encounter a male?
I get really scared. I don't know really what to do. I end up with the whole self-violence thing again.
Yes, honey. So who would you be meeting some gorgeous man without the thought, I need a partner, I need a boyfriend? Who would you be meeting that hunk without your story?
I'd probably be really laid back and cool, I guess.
Yeah,
an enjoyable person to be around.
Yeah. You would be your own perfect mate, and they would be a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that what you really want? Just to meet the world just kicked back, comfortable, relaxed?
It does sound much better.
You know, you're the mate you've been waiting for. You've been looking for. So I need a boyfriend. Turn it around.
I don't need a boyfriend.
Bingo. Reality. How do I know I don't need one? I don't have one. Without the thought, can you imagine that without without, like the thought can come in when you question it, because thoughts aren't going to stop. I came to see, until I met my thoughts with unconditional love, I cannot meet you with unconditional love, because you're going to say what I haven't dealt with yet. So I try to shut my thoughts down, meditate them down, medicate them down, try to shut them up, credit card them down, food them down, alcohol them down, let's see. Try to do all of that, and here they come, here they come, here they come. So I'm left with all the effects, and the thoughts are still here. So when I question them, it's a wonderful thing. It's like unconditional love. So now you can say anything. You can say anything, and you cannot be my enemy, because you can only say what I have thought and the world has thought. There are no new stressful thoughts. So there's only, that's why I say, you're the love of your life. Work with this, it leaves self-love. But to live in the world with, I don't need a partner, the turnaround is to be open to every human being, cat, dog, and tree.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, it leaves you open for every male in your life. And when one says, oh, you are a gorgeous babe, you don't have to marry them. Just because they have flattered you. And if you do enough, if you question your mind, you do enough work, they might say, you are a gorgeous babe. You could say, well, yeah. You notice, I notice. But you could think it to yourself. Then now here's a wise man. Not everyone is that wise in this world. Are you? And that's the point. Let's look at the next one.
Okay. My grandmother shouldn't tell me I'm overweight, just like her, and I'm just like her.
She shouldn't tell you you're overweight. And where did you learn this? Who told you that people shouldn't tell you you're overweight? Do people tell people they're overweight? They do. It's just in case we miss it. They do. If I'm not enlightened, they'll enlighten me.
Okay.
So, reality is she does. That's her job. Everyone has their job. Who would you be in the presence of your grandmother? Who would you be without the thought she shouldn't do that?
I would just, be like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, grandmother. You're very perceptive. See, and they can see if it still hurts, Angel, and if it does, your work's not done.
Okay.
Yeah. So she should not say that I'm overweight. Turn it around.
Well, there's two. I should not say that she's overweight, and I should not say that I'm overweight. Okay.
We can't change her, but we can certainly live what we so easily hand out for the world to live.
Right.
When we turn it around and begin to live that ourselves, it can be a very humbling experience. So you stop telling you're overweight. So let's look at it. You're overweight. Is that true? You weigh 500 pounds and you're 4'11", you're overweight. Can you absolutely know that that's true?
No.
Here you are, the perfect age, the perfect height, the perfect room, at the perfect time, perfect smile. That's your job. You can think my job is not to weigh so much. And here you are, weighing that now. That's it. This is it. This is my job right now. It doesn't mean it's not going to change tomorrow. But am I arguing with what is true now? That's insane. Does that thought bring peace or stress into your life? I'm overweight.
Stress.
Who would you be without the thought I'm overweight?
Be happier and probably a lot nicer.
Yeah, especially to your grandmother and you. How do you react when you think the thought I'm overweight? Where does the mind travel when you think that thought? Where does it go next? I'm overweight.
Well, it goes to my butt.
Yeah. My butt's too fat. And then where does the mind travel? I'll never find a partner.
Yeah.
And then where does it go?
And then it goes, I'll be alone and end up like my grandmother.
Yes. Now, that's where the mind travels if you don't question the first stressful thought. Or question your stressful thoughts. Okay, now isn't that when you go to the refrigerator? When you're doing that story. Got it. You found it, honey. Who would you be without the thought, I'm too, what was it? I'm overweight. And the thoughts that follow to prove it. Who would you be without your story?
It would just be me.
Yeah, without the stress. You know, I go to that stress, you know, I'm overweight, my butt's too big, I'll never get a partner, I'm gonna be just like my grandmother. Television goes on, it's like that. Covers go up over the head, it's like that. So, that's a good thing. Get out your pencil and paper and set yourself free. Couldn't hurt to question what you believe. I'm overweight, turned around.
I'm not overweight.
Not for you. For him, for her, for them. But not, you know, your opinion is the one that you're living with. This is the one you're dealing with. Who would you be without those thoughts? There's no, you know, a man came to me, he said, I did the work and smoking quit me. I didn't want to quit smoking. Smoking quit me. But what happened was he was questioning his mind and he lost the effects. Who would I be without my story? And I can't get rid of my story either. But there's a wonderful thing about this story, the stressful stories. We can question them, and the next time they come, there's less Velcro, or maybe none, or maybe the effects are just laughter. Thank you, precious.
Thank you.
Nice work. Hi.
Hi.
So begin to read.
I'm angry and upset at Bob because he lied to me and stole from me and betrayed me.
Okay. So people shouldn't lie. Is it true? What's the reality of it, Dewey? Is there anyone here that has never lied? Raise your hands. That always happens. No one ever raises their hand. One day someone raised their hand and say, I'm lying. How do you react when you think the thought, people shouldn't lie, and Bob did?
I get an upset stomach and I feel closed up.
And how do you treat him when you think this thought and you feel closed up?
I don't want to be around him.
Yeah, so we isolate away from them, we separate. Does that thought bring peace or stress into your life?
Stress. But, I mean, everybody lies, but not everyone does, like, more awful things like he did.
So let's work it one at a time. Just one at a time. Because the mind wants to be right. Did you notice?
Yes. Oh, I can feel my mind is really trying to be right.
And it travels, and that way we don't have to continue the questioning. When you're at home, you don't have to continue the questioning because you went off, you're right, you put it down, it's over, and you go on with your stressful life. And that's okay if it's okay with you. So, who would you be living in this world without the thought, people shouldn't lie, Bob shouldn't lie?
I'd be peaceful.
Yeah. So people shouldn't lie, Bob shouldn't lie, turn it around.
I shouldn't lie.
Can you find another one?
Bob should lie? Oh, he does a fine job.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very good at his job, and that's his job. So when did you first notice that he lied? Before he stole from you or after?
After.
Is that true?
Well, I suspected this one lie years before, but I I used to think he was very honest and didn't lie.
So keep reading.
I need Bob to tell the truth and admit what he did.
You need him to admit what he did. Is that true?
Well, it feels true.
It would, because you believe it. Now
Right.
let's question it.
I believe it, but I mean, I
You
guess...
need him to admit what he did.
Well, I guess that's not true.
Well, I don't know. Has he admitted it?
No.
Are you still breathing?
Yes, I'm still breathing.
Okay, so it's just not true.
No,
It's not
that's
what
true.
you need. Who would you be without this philosophy? He should admit that he lied.
I'd be calmer. I can kind of get the part about the lying, but like, can I say like one thing he did that really I just think
Only
is
if you want to be
unforgivable?
right.
Well, but I want to say it so you can help me see that it's not true.
So I would turn that around, and what is it? You want to say it so you can see it's not true. So what was it?
Yes. He made a pass at me at my husband's funeral.
Wow, he must think you're wonderful.
I don't think that was his motivation.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, really.
Here's this man at the funeral when you feel the very worst giving you compliments.
I don't think he meant it as a compliment.
I see that. What did he say?
It was something physical that he did.
Something that he did?
Yes.
What was it?
He grabbed me in an inappropriate way.
He did?
He did.
And what were your thoughts about that?
I was speechless. I mean,
what were your thoughts about that?
What kind of a human being would do a thing like that?
Him. So there's the answer to that one. What was the other thought?
Okay.
Did you get it?
Did I get it?
Well, what kind of human being? That kind.
That kind.
What other thoughts? He grabbed you inappropriately.
I just thought that he was a very disturbed person on a big power trip and selfish and self-absorbed.
Turn it around.
I'm a person on
I'm a very confused person.
I'm a very confused person on a power trip, and I'm self-absorbed.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I was deciding what behavior was right for him and what wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very self-absorbed. I mean, I wasn't thinking about what he was thinking. I was thinking about me and how I felt.
So what else what other thoughts did you have? You know, the point of this man was entirely out of order. And it happened. Now what are we going to do? Are we going to go to war? Are we going to figure this out from where we stand now? We can go through life teaching that those people should be put away. And in that, we're standing outside of the whole circle of humanity. We've put ourselves away.
Now, I understand that, but getting it in the head isn't the same as, I mean, there's a part of me that really loves him, and I don't want to feel this way about him because it's awful. I hate feeling this way about him.
So what other thoughts did you have? He grabbed you. It was inappropriate at your husband's funeral.
Oh, that he just, you know, was a totally unfit human being and just evil.
Yeah. So he's an unfit human being. Unfit for what? To live the life that you have chosen for him?
Yes.
Yeah. People who don't see it the way we do are unfit.
Yeah.
Who would you be at your husband's funeral without these thoughts when this man did that, when he did this inappropriate thing? Who would you be at your husband's funeral without your story when this man did that?
Well, I I wouldn't have been mad at him.
Yeah.
Maybe I could even have had a little compassion for him.
For both of you. He shouldn't have done that. Turn it around.
I shouldn't have done that?
Well, it's your work. You would know. There's another one also.
He should have done that?
Yes, because he did. That's reality. He should have done it. How do I know he did it? It doesn't condone it. It doesn't excuse it. But that's the way of it. That's the way of the world. We can do war with it, or we can understand it from here. And I hear you say that you would be more compassionate, and I don't know a higher teacher.
This is amazing. I'm starting to think that was funny.
Yeah. Just don't try to tell it in the world. But to realize it, and you see him, you know, you might think, now there is a man with good taste and bad timing.
Thank you.
What are you afraid of, sweetheart? I mean, if you survived that, you can. What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid that I will not fulfill my life's purpose.
And what is your life's purpose?
Well, I don't know. That's part of why I'm afraid I won't fulfill it.
What if your life's purpose wasn't a mystery, that it was right under your nose?
That would be great.
Okay, well, that seems to be the way of it. All your life, from birth, your education, your experiences, your whole life has brought you to this. This is your purpose, to stand here with us now. That's it. How do I know that that's true? Here you are. I can see your purpose. I'm not blind anymore. And I can certainly see mine. It's to stand in the presence of the privilege of standing with you. That's what I'm experiencing. And our friends, whether they're my friends or not, I wouldn't know the difference. You know, that's because I love, I can only project love. Yeah. So anyway, welcome to your purpose. Your purpose is to stand until you sit. Then your purpose is to sit, and you get to watch it every moment until you stand. And then you'll walk, and then something will happen. It'll come to you. You don't have to go to it. You just walk, and then your purpose, it's always, every moment, opening up and being revealed to you, every moment. But until we question, you know, what we believe about the past, it leaves a future just as frightening. So we question it, and we take care of what we believe about the past, and it leaves no future except your purpose, which is just to live it. You know, it's your job to hold the microphone now until you don't. That's it. It's that simple.
Thank you.
Yes. Welcome, Angel. Yeah.
I am angry, upset, saddened at Lillian, my sister, because she is irresponsible and may not be able to take care of herself as she ages like that.
Yes. So that's not what you're afraid of. What are you afraid of?
That I'm going to end up having to take care of her.
Yes. Yeah. Other than that.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say she's totally incapacitated. There's no one else to do it. You have to take care of her. I invite you to go in. You know, those people you're afraid that you may have to take care of eventually. You don't have the money. You don't have the time. You have a job. Your hands are full. You have to take care of her. Is that true?
No.
Okay, so feel it. That was pretty courageous. How uncaring, how unloving, how cold of you.
Yeah, what a real jerk I am.
Yeah.
I can do that.
How do you react when you think that thought? I have to take care of her. Let's say that she's just incapacitated. I have to take care of her.
I have to give up my life, or a large part of it, or a large chunk of my own resources to do the job, which leaves me down here not having enough money, which I'm fearful of, and not having enough resources.
Well, you've worked your entire life to be where you are. And then here's this thing happening. So how does it feel when you think that thought, I have to take care of her, and your mind travels like this? How does it feel when you think that thought? Where do you feel those thoughts?
Most solar plexus, my gut.
When you think these thoughts, does your heart speed up? Does you imagine your blood pressure goes up? The stress?
Yeah, that would be stressful, I think.
So who would you...
And I wouldn't be able, there'd be no choice. I would have to do this, and I would do it. Because one does not let one's sister die in the street or that kind of thing.
So, yeah, that's a big guilt trip.
Yeah, so I feel guilty.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm already guilty.
Yeah.
I'm preparing for that, if, hoping. Well, I hope not, but.
So I need to take care of her. I have to take care of her. Does that thought bring peace or stress into your life?
It brings stress.
Who would you be when she's sick and they're calling without the thought, I have to take care of her?
I would be me, fairly happy kind of person. Got plenty.
Yeah.
My life is not stressful otherwise, particularly.
So I have to take care of her, turn it around?
I don't have to take care of her. And
isn't that as true or truer?
It's as true.
So just experience it. Here's the point of this. No one has to do anything. And we notice that we do it from a whole other position. When we know we don't have to, we're free to do it or not. And we get to see a very loving human being, not someone guilt-ridden doing it that resents it. Because the truth is, if you lost your arms, your legs, all your money, you couldn't take care of her. We'll say, you couldn't. So how do I know I don't have to take care of her? I could be in a position where I don't have to. I can't. Anyway, this opens it.
Yes.
But to believe that I have to do it is a lie. I don't have to. I do it because to give to her is my heart's desire. It feels right. I love her. And from that position, it's when the doctor calls and says we need more money, you're open to discuss it rather than, oh God, not more money. All this painful, I have to. Yeah. Let's hear what else you've written down.
I need Lillian to always take care of herself.
Turn it around.
I don't need Lillian to take care of herself.
Yeah, it's not as though you had a choice.
Yeah, she certainly has her own life, and she's...
And there's nothing you can do about it.
That's right.
So turned around again.
I need myself to always take care of myself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're the one. And the way you take care of yourself sometimes is to help your sister. And sometimes it's not.
Not to help her.
Yeah. And that was that other turnaround. Could you find it? I need myself to...
I need myself to not take care of myself.
Yeah. Can you find it? Where sometimes you don't?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a little more gentleness around that.
Yeah, I'm kind of irresponsible.
Yeah. Well, of course, you project that onto her, too.
Right. Yeah.
What else is possible? Let's look at the next one.
She shouldn't squander her money.
Is that true?
Actually, I don't really know for sure.
Good.
She's scary, but she's actually way more adventurous than I. And that's, how are you doing this? How are you affording this? Because anyway, so maybe she's not. Looks like it. Yeah. And that would be, if she ran out of money to support herself, then it's either that's how it's related. Yeah. So certainly, sister, you shouldn't be squandering your money. And so is it true? It's not true don't squander your money to save me. Well, I want her to live her life, and she does.
This is wonderful. This is wonderful what's unfolding. We're hearing what you really want.
Yeah, I really want her to live her life, because I
Yeah.
think she really has got
Well,
stuff
she
to
loves
live.
it. She squanders her money. She goes places. She does things.
She lives in places I just, wouldn't. I don't know that they're very much fun, but it's adventure of a major sort and
Yeah.
lots of courage. And
Yeah.
here's a person who I didn't think was capable of handling her life. Well, are you kidding me? She's way more capable than I am in a whole. So I really have to admire her for all these.
You may want to email her, call her, talk to her.
I have told her a bunch of this stuff recently.
Well, have you told her you just love that she squanders her money yet?
I haven't told her that. She probably wouldn't appreciate it if I put it in those terms, but...
No, it might be nice to say, whatever way you're dealing with your money, you're amazing. Look
Yeah,
at
I
what
could-
you do and how you afford that.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
how do you do it? I want to know. Yeah.
Yeah, somehow she's got to be a magician in making things work that I haven't figured out yet. So
Yeah, well, she sounds like a great teacher.
she is. Yeah.
She shouldn't squander her money, turned around.
She should squander her money.
And it's another turnaround eye.
I shouldn't squander her money. Well, my money.
Yeah.
I don't have her money to squander, but I shouldn't squander my money. And
Yeah. And if you take care of you, you won't have to squander her money. She won't have to take care of you.
Oh, she could have to take care of me. I hadn't thought of that one. Yeah. Okay.
So take care of yourself. Do not squander your money. Be very careful with it, very frugal, for her sake.
I think that makes sense. Yeah. I'll go along with that. Turnabout is fair play. Yeah. That's completely fair play.
Yeah, and turned around for your sake. You really love her, don't you?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look at the next one.
Lillian is, oh boy, well, irresponsible or...
She's irresponsible.
Well, and slash adventurous and venturesome.
So let's look at the irresponsible. In this work, we don't question those thoughts that we love so much. Why would we question? They bring us happiness. So the irresponsible, that's a stressful thought for some of us.
Yes, it is.
She's irresponsible. Can you absolutely know that that's true?
No, I can't.
How do you react when you think that thought? She's irresponsible.
It's stressful because then that leads to these thoughts. Well, at some point down the road, she won't have her responsibilities with money and resources, and she may have to end up on my doorstep.
Yes.
Oh dear,
That's very
that's stressful.
So, who would you be without this thought?
I would be much more at peace with the thought of her and the whole situation as her life winds down. She's older than I am, so it's going to wind down most likely before mine, I'm going to see. And
That's a good one.
And that I'm going to see that happen, and I'm going to, it'll work. Her life will work.
Yeah. She's irresponsible. Turn it around.
She is not irresponsible. I'm irresponsible.
Yes, when you mentally go into her life, we have her on our doorstep, we have her sick, we have her, we're spending her money in our mind, and she gets to do it, we don't.
Yeah, I'm really messing with her life in that regard. So
Yes.
I'm trying, don't think those thoughts. Well,
Yeah.
guess what? I'm thinking those
Yes,
thoughts.
that's what we're thinking. It's wonderful to explore. There just doesn't seem to be any harm in it. They're there. Let's question them. Thank you.
Thank you.
This gentleman back here, when he was speaking, brought up some pain in my heart about, I have a son who's mentally retarded, and I gave him up to the state when he was 8. And I felt so guilty about that sometimes, and I thought I was over it until he brought that up about me having to take care of him. And he's 25 or 6 years old, and he has a mentality of like a 3-year-old, but he's 6'3" and 240. But he still acts like a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And
What a
I do
wonderful-
not see him anymore. It's too painful for me to be around that. And but I have not, I don't think, dealt with that.
It's too
all the
painful
way.
because you have thoughts. What are they? You see him, and what do you think? What are your thoughts?
That I wasn't a good father.
If you kept him, that would have been much better. He would have been much better off. Can you absolutely know that that's true?
Well, he may have been better off, but I don't think I would have.
Oh, and the question is, okay, he needed a father. Can you absolutely know that that's true? What's the reality of it? Did he?
No.
So just sit with that a moment.
No, I can't know that.
How do you react when you think the thought he'd be much better off with his father?
Deep sadness, and it felt like I didn't get it right. I didn't do it right. I was a failure.
So who would you be without the thought he needed me?
Whew. Relieved, joyful, playful.
He might enjoy that at 3 years old. At 6 foot, whatever he is. A little joy from his father. He could teach you how to play, maybe. He needed me, turn it around.
I needed him.
Isn't that as true or truer? You know what I love about life? We begin now. Go play. Go play with this 3-year-old. And every thought you have about him, put it on paper and ask him. Does he talk at all?
No.
Better yet. You just walk in there, you tell the story of him. If it brings you sadness, you experience the hell, put it on paper, question it, turn it around, and play some more.
Okay.
Go play with your baby, honey.
I've done this before. I just thought it was through. I guess not.
Yeah.
I'll do some more.
Yeah, until you love to play with him, you know.
Okay.
This is your son. This thing, he needed you? Really? I mean, look at him.
Okay,
It
thank
was
you.
the other way around.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks.